And joining me now is senior Congress leader, Mr. P. Chidambaram. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Chidambaram. Your reactions to the news that's come in that Priyanka Gandhi has been arrested for attempt to disrupt peace under the IPC.
They have made an illegality worse. They have compounded the illegality. The sections they have invoked are Section 151 of the CRPC, Section 107 and Section 116 of the Indian Penal Code. So they have finally admitted the arrest was under Section 151. If you arrest a person under Section 151, you cannot keep the person beyond 24 hours. They have kept her for nearly 36 hours. That itself is illegal. And then they are invoking Section 107 and Section 116 of the IPC, which is abetment. You can't abet in the air. You can't abet in the vacuum. You'll have to say, what did she abet? Which offense did she abet? Who did she abet? Nothing is stated. You simply throw a charge of abetment because under 151, there's no charge. So this is complete illegality. The earlier illegality is being compounded by this act. And they didn't produce her before the magistrate. I believe the challan was sent to the magistrate's court and the magistrate passed an order of remand without even seeing her. Under Section 167, a person can be under detention for 24 hours, and if the investigation cannot be completed in 24 hours, the person shall be produced before the magistrate, who may pass an order of remand. But without even seeing the person arrested, how does the magistrate pass an order of remand? This is, UP is worse than Alice in Wonderland.
Mr. Chidambaram, the charge is that Priyanka Gandhi, Deepinder Hooda and others were determined to go to Lakhimpur Kheri where there are prohibitory orders in place, and the apprehension was therefore there would be a disturbance in law and order.
Which section, tell me? I've read the 3 sections which have been included in the challan. They are only Section 151, which is designed to commit an offense. So no offense is committed at the time of arrest. Even the police officer does not say that any offense has been committed at the time of arrest. The only other 2 sections are 107 and 116 of the Indian Penal Code. Please read the sections. They are abetment. I ask myself, abetment of what? Abetment of who? You have to say that. Without that, how can there be a charge of abetment? Abetment can't
so
be
the FIR that was registered, Mr. Chidambaram, the FIR was registered against 11 people, including Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Deepinder Hooda and Ajay Kumar Lalu for disturbing peace, is what the SHO, Hargaon Police Station, Sitapur district has said.
Please tell me which is the section. He can say whatever he likes. Unfortunately,
151.
151, read 151. 151 is that if the police officer has knowledge that the person has designed to commit an offense. Please read it. A police officer knowing of a design to commit any cognizable offense. So at the time of arrest, there is no offense committed. It is a design to commit an offense. So at 4:30 a.m. on Monday, she did not commit any offense. He knew that she had a design to commit an offense. So he detained her, arrested her under 151. After 151, read Section 151, subsection 2. No person arrested under subsection 1 shall be detained in custody for a period exceeding 24 hours from the time of his arrest, unless his further detention is required or authorized under any other provisions of this code or any other law for the time being enforced. 24 hours ended at 4:30 this morning. How can you keep her even for 1 minute beyond that? Any detention after that is illegal. She is no longer under.
So you are claiming that prima facie the detention for the last 24 hours was illegal. The arrest has compounded the original illegality. There will be those, therefore, who will say, look, at the end of the day, this is now increasingly not only about the law, but also about politics. Uttar Pradesh elections 5 months from now, the political temperature is rising, and there are concerns that therefore the situation on the ground in Lakhimpur Kheri could become a political war zone.
She is nowhere near Lakhimpur Kheri. Let's confine ourselves to Sitapur. She has been detained in Sitapur. We have the challan before us. The challan only mentions 3 sections. I can't go beyond that. It is completely illegal. If it is illegal, not in accordance with law, then the only inference is it is politics. It is political vendetta. It is exercising political power, exhibiting political power. I am the chief minister. I can do what you like, what I like. This is exactly what Mr. Adityanath is doing. But the people of UP and the people of India must be watching. Just because he's a chief minister, he can break the law. He's breaking the law. His police are breaking the law.
Let me ask you one final question, and you've been in politics for long. You know that there are various situations where large groups may gather, or there may be assemblies, political assemblies. Political leaders then are arrested. There is an arrest. They are taken to the concerned police station, eventually let off. It happens all the time. Do you believe that this is a particularly different situation to those numerous situations where politicians protesting, carrying out pradarshans or processions are arrested because of the apprehension of law and order disturbance?
Absolutely. She was not taken to a police station. She was detained in a PAC guest house. 24 hours expired. The detention is illegal. Period. Full stop. Next step. She was not produced before a magistrate within 24 hours. Even now, as we speak, she has not been produced before a magistrate, which is violative of Section 167 of a person under detention. Full stop. Number 3, she is being charged with only abetment. She has not committed any crime. She is abetting somebody's crime. Who? I want to know who. Which crime? How can there be abetment in the air? Can there be abetment of a ghost? Abetment without a body and a soul? How can you abet somebody without naming the person, without naming the offense? It's all illegal.
Now got a situation where Bhupesh Baghel, your Chhattisgarh chief minister, is protesting at the airport. He's staging a dharna because he's not being allowed to go to Lakhimpur Kheri. We've got your chief minister from Punjab as well as Navjot Singh Sidhu wanting to go to Lakhimpur Kheri. We've got other congressmen from different parts claiming that they will move toward Lakhimpur Kheri in solidarity with Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. As I said, is this now a political battle that is being waged where the Congress is unifying behind Priyanka Gandhi Vadra?
Of course, we are unifying because people's issues are involved here. There are farmers' issues. 4 people have been run over by an SUV. There was a police firing. 4 more people have died. I don't know what other clashes have taken place today. I've not been watching television. These are people's issues. And when political leaders take up people's issues, this is not the way to handle it. You can't stop them at Lucknow Airport. Lucknow Airport is a free place, I assume. It's still part of India. And if a chief minister arrives in Lucknow Airport, he can go wherever he likes, unless and until he enters an area where there's 144. Even then, believe me, he can go alone. He can go with 1 person, 2 persons, 3 persons. It's only when there are 5 people that becomes an unlawful assembly. An individual can go even to Lakhimpur even today. Are there not people walking into Lakhimpur market? Are there not people walking out of Lakhimpur market? Don't they visit a Lakhimpur doctor or a Lakhimpur shop or a Lakhimpur Tahsildar's office? All of them are not violating Section 144. This 144 is being built up as if it's a grave crime. 144 is simply to preserve law and order, and 5 or more people become an unlawful assembly. As long as you go in alone, and if Mr. Baghel wants to go alone, or Mr. Channi wants to go alone, then no law which stops him. I mean, let's go back to fundamentals. We have to preserve this country, preserve the constitution of the country. If we ignore the fundamentals, the constitution of the country will crumble.
In conclusion, let me ask you, there is a sense that the Congress is now has been a marginal force in Uttar Pradesh for well over 3 decades. Do you believe that this gives you a fresh lease of life, that you will use this as a platform for the 2022 election? Because the charge is the Congress is playing politics over dead bodies in Uttar Pradesh when things happen in Congress-ruled states, whether Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh. There is no uproar. The outrage is only because it's happening in UP and there are elections 5 months from now.
No, there was outrage when it happened in other states also. There was an outrage when it happened in Delhi, outrage when it happened in Rajasthan, outrage when it happens in Gujarat. Nothing to do with UP. If it happens anywhere in the country, an all India political party and its leaders are entitled to go there and protest, raise the voice on behalf of the affected
people. When farmers were yesterday, sir, with due regard, when farmers were yesterday attacked by police officers by police in Rajasthan, did the Congress protest? That's the charge the BJP makes. The Congress is being selective.
I don't know what they did in Rajasthan. I can only read and quote from newspapers. I'm sure some other opposition party must have protested in Rajasthan. Congress is the ruling party in Rajasthan, and I'm sure somebody else would have protested. It's a right of every opposition party to protest if it is attributed to a government action or a government police's action. I mean, they are entitled to protest in Rajasthan too. I would defend them if they protest in Rajasthan.
Okay, let me leave it there, Mr. P. Chidambaram. I appreciate your joining us, and you are saying this is a prima facie illegal act committed by the Yogi Adityanath government in arresting Priyanka Gandhi Vadra in the manner that it's happened. Thanks very much for joining me here on India Today.